What really happens when pets die? Discover the hidden spiritual connection. I still remember the day Max, my golden retriever, took his last breath. The house felt emptier than ever, his leash hanging silently by the door, his favorite blanket folded but untouched. I sat alone in that quiet room, and realized something inside me had shattered. It wasn't just losing a pet. It felt like losing a part of my soul. Have you ever felt that way about a pet? That the bond you share goes far beyond friendship, like somehow they understand you on a level no human ever could? They sense your joys, your fears, your tears, and love you through it all. And then, just like that, they're gone. The food bowl sits empty, the sunlight spills across the windowsill, where they once curled up, and the silence. It's heartbreakingly loud. Where do they go? Are they truly gone? Or is there something deeper, a spark of who they are, that continues on, beyond the veil of life and death? Today on Destiny Lies in Your Hands, we're diving into one of life's most profound mysteries: do animals have souls? And if so, what happens to them when their time here ends? Join me on this journey, where ancient wisdom meets heartfelt stories, and science, as we uncover the truth about the souls of our beloved animal companions. Chapter 1: The Emotional Reality of Pet Loss. Grief doesn't always announce itself with loud cries. Sometimes, it settles quietly, like the heavy silence left behind. When your dog no longer greets you at the door, or when your cat no longer curls up at your feet. When a pet dies, the pain can feel just as real, just as raw, as losing a close friend or family member. And this grief isn't just sentimentality, it's a deep connection. Animals often witness the most intimate and vulnerable moments in our lives. They sit silently by our side during sickness. They share in our joy without saying a word. Their presence is quiet, yet profoundly meaningful. Modern psychology now recognizes the loss of a pet as a legitimate form of grief, one that can trigger depression, shifts in identity, and even physical symptoms like fatigue and loss of appetite. Why? Because pets aren't just accessories, or things, they are healers, companions, and reflections of our own souls. In Buddhist teachings, the suffering that comes from attachment, known as dukkha, is not a condemnation, but a recognition of the value of what we've lost. It teaches us that grief reveals the depth of love and connection we had. So when we ask, where did that soul go, we aren't being overly sentimental. We're searching for truth. Many who have lost pets report seeing, hearing, or dreaming of their companions after death. Are these mere memories, or signs of a spiritual presence? This is the mystery we begin to explore together. Chapter 2: Ancient Beliefs and Animal Souls. Throughout history, no great civilization has ever dismissed animals as mere soulless creatures. Instead, many ancient cultures revered them as spiritual beings, connected deeply to the fabric of life itself. Take ancient Egypt, for example. Cats were not just pets, they were sacred guardians. Egyptians worshipped them as divine protectors, and believed their souls journeyed with them beyond death. Cats were buried with care, surrounded by ritual and respect, honoring their place not only in this life, but in the afterlife. In Hinduism, the concept of the Atman reveals a profound truth: every living being, humans, animals, even plants, carries an eternal soul. This soul moves through countless lifetimes in the cycle of reincarnation, learning, evolving, and growing. This means the dog lying at your feet today could have once been a human, or may become one in a future life. For many Native American tribes, animals are sacred guides and teachers. They don't stand beneath us, they walk beside us on the same sacred path. From the soaring eagle to the wise wolf, animals embody spiritual power and wisdom. Their presence in ceremonies and stories reminds us of our deep connection to nature and spirit. In Norse mythology, animals play essential roles in the afterlife. Mighty horses carry fallen warriors to Valhalla, while wolves and ravens serve as symbols of loyalty, strength, and wisdom. These animals are honored companions in the journey beyond death, not forgotten beasts. And then there's Buddhism, which teaches that all sentient beings, including animals, are caught in the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth known as samsara. A dog in this life could very well have been a human in a past life, or will be one in the next. The Dalai Lama famously reminds us, even the smallest insect desires happiness. That desire, that yearning for joy, and freedom from suffering, is consciousness itself. Across these diverse traditions, one truth shines through clearly: animals are not lesser beings or mere property. They are fellow souls, travelers on a shared spiritual journey. Their lives matter, their experiences are meaningful, and their souls, like ours, are sacred. Chapter 3, Edgar Cayce and the Group Soul. Edgar Cayce, often called the Sleeping Prophet, is one of the most thoroughly documented mystics in modern history. Over his lifetime, he gave thousands of psychic readings, while in a trance state, covering everything from healing to reincarnation, and among these insights was a fascinating concept about animal souls. Cayce introduced the idea of group souls when it comes to animals. According to him, animals start their existence as part of a collective consciousness, a shared spiritual energy that connects all members of a species. They don't initially possess the individualized souls that humans have. But here's where it gets truly remarkable: through the deep emotional bonds animals form with humans through love, care, and companionship, an animal can begin to awaken its own unique, individual soul path. Think about that for a moment. Every belly rub, every whispered, "I love you," every quiet moment spent together, is more than just a memory. It's shaping something eternal. Cayce's readings describe pets appearing in visions after death, returning in dreams, or even reuniting with their owners in spiritual dimensions beyond this physical world. He believed that love acts as a bridge between souls, connecting humans and animals in ways that transcend time and space. Your pet's essence, their true self, doesn't simply vanish when their body dies. It evolves, it transforms, and perhaps even returns in new forms. This idea might sound radical, but it resonates deeply with many people's experiences. It's the feeling you have in your bones, that the bond you share with your pet is too profound to just disappear. In this light, love is not just a fleeting emotion, it's a powerful force that links souls, weaving together human and animal spirits in an eternal dance. Chapter 4, Scientific Clues of Animal Consciousness. For a long time, science viewed animals as simple creatures driven purely by instinct, automatic, mechanical beings without real feelings or awareness. But that perspective has dramatically changed. Today, we have overwhelming evidence that many animals experience emotions, display intelligence, and possess complex consciousness. Consider these remarkable examples. Elephants don't just react to death, they mourn. They gather around their deceased, touching bones with their trunks, standing vigil, returning to the gravesite year after year. This is not instinct, it's a profound emotional ritual. Dolphins communicate with signature whistles, effectively giving each other names. They show empathy, cooperation, and even grieving behaviors within their pods. Crows are tool makers and planners. They fashion hooks and sticks to fish out insects, and even save tools for future use. These are signs of advanced problem solving and foresight. Dogs possess a unique ability to read human emotions, sometimes better than humans read each other. They respond to our moods, comfort us in distress, and form deep emotional bonds. Neuroscientists have discovered that many animals share with us the same brain structures responsible for emotion and decision-making: the amygdala, hippocampus, and even the prefrontal cortex. These regions govern memory, empathy, and self-awareness. In 2012, a group of leading scientists signed the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness, officially recognizing that non-human animals possess consciousness and emotional experience. This declaration was a landmark moment, shifting the scientific consensus to acknowledge animal minds as complex and sentient. While science cannot measure or weigh a soul, that elusive essence of spirit, it undeniably observes awareness, feeling, and individuality in animals. If consciousness is the hallmark of a soul, then animals too are bearers of spirit. Chapter 5: Heaven, Reincarnation, and Reunion. One of the most profound questions many pet owners ask is, will we see our beloved pets again? Traditional Christian doctrine has long emphasized that only humans have immortal souls destined for heaven. Yet, voices within the Christian tradition challenge this view. Thinkers like John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, argued that animals could share in resurrection and eternal life. The beloved author C.S. Lewis speculated that pets might continue in the afterlife, not on their own merits, but through their loving relationships with humans. Even Pope Francis has spoken about a paradise where all creatures will be made new, suggesting a more inclusive vision of heaven. The Bible itself offers powerful imagery of a restored creation filled with animals living in harmony. Isaiah 11:6 paints a striking picture. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, the leopard shall lie down with the young goat, a peaceful kingdom where natural enemies coexist, a symbol of ultimate reconciliation. Romans 8:22 extends this cosmic hope by saying, "For we know that the whole creation has been groaning together in the pains of childbirth until now." This passage reminds us that redemption and renewal are not just for humans, but for all creation. Beyond Christianity, Buddhism offers a different perspective. It teaches that karma, not species, guides the cycle of rebirth. That stray dog wandering your neighborhood might have been your teacher in a past life, or perhaps your child. Life is a continuum, and the soul's journey is not confined to a single form. Similarly, Hinduism embraces the idea of one universal soul, Atman, unfolding through countless lives, in human and animal bodies alike. And then there are the stories, countless accounts of vivid dreams where pets appear healthy and joyful, spiritual encounters felt deeply by their owners. Overwhelming senses of presence that cannot be explained away. These experiences might not be scientific proof, but they offer compelling evidence of a love and life that continues beyond physical death. If love itself is divine and animals certainly love, then surely that love must live on. Chapter 6: What the bond really means. What if the real question isn't whether animals go to heaven, but rather, what heaven truly is? If heaven is the complete fulfillment of love, and animals embody love in its purest form, then surely animals belong there. Your pet didn't preach sermons or teach doctrines, but they lived compassion every day. They didn't chant mantras or recite prayers, but they offered you moments of stillness, comfort, and unconditional presence. In Buddhism, enlightenment means transcending the ego, the self-centered mind that separates us. Your cat, your dog, your bird, they already live beyond ego in their pure and simple love. If God is love, and your pet was love, patient, loyal, selfless, then in their very being, they were walking in God's image. And maybe, just maybe, they still are. If love makes a soul, animals surely have one. Grief and hope aren't opposites. They are companions. Let them walk together. Plant a tree in their name. Speak their name aloud. Let your next act of kindness be done in their honor. They may not walk beside you now, but they may walk within you. The final gift of a pet may be this: they remind us what love without conditions looks like. So when you gaze at the stars, sit by a quiet window, or feel joy for no reason, know this: that bond never broke. Love always returns. If you have ever loved and lost a pet, I invite you to share your story below. Your voice may be a light for someone else walking through grief. And if this message touched your heart, please share this video to help spread love and understanding about the souls of our animal friends. Together, we can create a community of healing and hope. Thank you for being part of this journey with Destiny Lies in Your Hands. If this moved you, subscribe. Share your story. You are not alone, and neither are they.